The NBA usually finds success in what its players do, but that's not to say there haven't been a few stories to talk about involving negative actions. In fact, there have been many embarrassing moments in the NBA's history. Welcome back to the Clutch Central channel. Lay back, grab your favorite snacks, and be prepared to hear some of the most embarrassing moments in NBA history. We prepared a list of 15 embarrassing moments. It is hard to fathom some of these events occurring, but they're all true in their nature. Eddie Griffin's Drunken Escapades. On March 30th, 2006, in the great state of Minnesota, Eddie Griffin rammed his Cadillac Escalade into a Chevy Suburban outside a Minneapolis store. What's worse is that Griffin was incoherently drunk, according to witnesses. What's even worse is that he wasn't fully dressed when he struck the other SUV. What's even worse? What could be worse? Is that he told several passers-by that he was watching a pornographic film on a mounted DVD player while performing a sexual act as he drove the car. The 19-18 game. In the 1950 to 1951 season, the Minneapolis Lakers were the best team in the league and had a front court that featured legends George McConn, Jim Pollard, and Vern Mickelson. On November 22, 1950, in Minnesota, the team took on the Fort Wayne Pistons. After Pistons head coach Murray Mendel promised a tussle in Minneapolis, the Pistons instead went on to hold the ball for as long as 5 minutes in a row without taking a shot. And as a result, the final score was 19-18 in favor of the Pistons. McConn had the only 4 field goals in the Lakers' losing effort. Although this is one of the NBA's most embarrassing moments, it was certainly revolutionary in the fact that it helped bring about the 24-second shot clock. Magic's phenomenal game that was on tape delay. On May 16, 1980, Game 6 of the NBA Finals was seen on tape delay in most American television markets, while reruns of shows such as The Incredible Hulk and Dallas appeared in prime time. Many people missed out on one of the greatest finals performances of all time, as Magic Johnson scored 42 points, grabbed 15 rebounds, and dished 7 assists. Michael Jordan's gambling issues on golf courses and casinos. Michael Jordan's gambling problems were well documented in the early 1990s. After a book called Mike and Me, Our Gambling Addiction, My Cry for Help was released, and it was made public how big of a problem it was. The author, a sports businessman named Richard Esquinas, claimed his airness had given him over $1.252 million over the course of a few years on the links. He also routinely lost money at casinos in great amounts. He wasn't exactly the best husband either, having an affair with a woman named Carla Naffel, who tried to extort money from Jordan in a failed paternity suit. Len Bias's sudden death. The 1986 NBA draft featured a plethora of seemingly future superstars, and among them was the University of Maryland's Len Bias. After being selected second by the Boston Celtics, Bias was back in school the following night when he took cocaine that led to his cardiac arrhythmia. His untimely death was called "the cruelest thing I ever heard" from Larry Bird, and it was incredibly embarrassing for the NBA because it exposed some of the drug use that was rampant around the league. We are not saying that Bias's death is embarrassing, because that would be downright insensitive. But the aftermath and the fact that the NBA had to take a look at what kind of role models they were promoting is very embarrassing. He is perhaps basketball's greatest what if of all time. Latrell Sprewell's family needs food. After a successful season in Minnesota, Latrell Sprewell was offered a 3-year, $21 million extension. The problem is, Spree didn't think that was generous at all, noting that, "Why would I help the Timberwolves win a title? They're not doing anything for me. I've got a lot at risk here. I've got to feed my family." Needless to say, the Wolves didn't, and thus concluded Spree's tenure in the NBA. This, however, can't be the worst moment, even in Sprewell's career. Magic Johnson's confession. On November 7, 1991, rumors circulated early in the morning that Magic Johnson was retiring, but why? Later, Magic revealed that he had attained HIV. He contracted the disease amidst many sexual encounters with women during his playing days. The NBA took the biggest hit here, and they immediately took mental note of players who were sleazes alike. Rose gets a sub for the ACT. In 2008, it was revealed that Derrick Rose had someone pass his SAT for him. He had previously failed the ACT 3 times so that he could attend Memphis and play for John Calipari. The NCAA then vacated Memphis's 2007-8 runner-up season when the Tigers lost to Kansas in the championship game. As we are going through our list, we would like to remind you that if you like our work, you can show us support by subscribing to our channel and turning on the notifications bell, and become a part of the always growing family. Greg Oden sends naughty pictures of himself. Not only has Greg Oden's career thus far been a disappointment, and much worse than Kevin Durant's, but in the summer of 2009, he came under heat for pictures of his nude self that were floating around the internet. The only thing that might make this situation worse is a dismal NBA career. Oh, wait. Jayson Williams' fatal mistake. In 2002, 34-year-old Jayson Williams shot his limo driver, Kostas Christofi, while hanging out with some of his friends in his home. According to Williams, he was only playing around with the gun, but he still pleaded guilty to aggravated assault. Although he wasn't playing in the NBA at the time, it still obviously brought about negativity and embarrassment to everyone involved with the league. Tom Hardaway bashes gays. In 2007, John Amici played in the NBA from 1995 to 2003, became the first former or current NBA player to openly declare his homosexuality, and Tim Hardaway was asked about the issue. "You know, I hate gay people, so I let it be known. I don't like gay people, and I don't like being around gay people. I am homophobic. I don't like it. It shouldn't be in the world or in the United States." This is how he responded, and his image, as well as the NBA's perspective of it, may never recover. Latrell Sprewell chokes his coach. On December 1st, 1997, Golden State Warriors guard Latrell Sprewell was allegedly upset when coach PJ Carlesimo asked him to put more mustard on his passes. After a brief altercation, Spree then proceeded to strangle his head coach for 10 to 15 seconds. Always a man to finish the job, Spree returned a few punches at Carlesimo. The NBA didn't find the stunts humorous and eventually suspended Sprewell for the remainder of the 1997-98 season, or 68 games. Kobe Bryant's rape charge. We all know the story of Kobe Bryant's rape charge, so we will spare you the details and get right to the point. Bryant was accused of sexual assault by a 19-year-old hotel employee in Colorado. Although he did admit to having adulterous relations with her, all charges were dropped by the prosecution after the woman refused to testify. Still, it was a moment that haunted the NBA and will continue to do so in the following years. Kermit Washington punch. We don't know how many times you've actually seen the video of Kermit Washington absolutely obliterating Rudy Tomjanovich, but it was truly a sad sight. It is especially sad when you consider poor Rudy Tomjanovich was simply trying to check on things, and Washington swung with all of his might at the All-Star. The NBA was incredibly embarrassed as a result, and neither man's career would ever be the same. Pistons-Pacers brawl. As everyone remembers, a cup of Diet Coke ultimately helped lead to this fight. If it hadn't been thrown at Ron Artest, he wouldn't have charged the stands. We are not saying what he did was right, because obviously he acted childish, and in turn, the 9-player, 146-game massive suspension helped create one of the most embarrassing moments in NBA history. Artest is known as the bad boy of the league and the punch of the fan, and the 73-game suspension is much of the reason he has been blessed with this honor. Before we wrap up this video, we want to thank you for watching and invite you to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to turn on notifications so that you don't miss any of our videos, and leave your opinion in the comments section. Do you agree with us for this list? Thank you for staying till the end, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!